passion. Oh man. Yeah man, he's feeling it too. How you folks doing today? I'm Sean. Thank you to Art for sharing this musician with me. Art, another dope musician and good friend of mine, has been sharing some of these amazing, brilliant songs with me. Shout out to Amos playing this song, My Hope is Built in D Flat. If you love hymns, you're gonna love this song. It's a beautiful song. And what I want to do today is I want to show you ways you can embellish your hymns that I kind of got for myself while I was listening to this song. The first method that you can use is to add very few notes. And there are two specific things that I would like to bring out. One thing is to change your major chords to either sus voicings or seventh chords. Now let's go from the top of the song, at least know from the chorus. Let's go from the chorus and just kind of outline the basic chords really quick. Chorus, the solid, the song's in the key of D flat, that's a 1 chord. Rock I Stand is a 4 chord, just play a G flat triad. All other ground, go back to the 1 chord. Is Sinking Sand, that's going to be a 5 chord. Okay, just a A flat chord. All other ground, let's go to a 6 chord there. And then back to a 5 chord. Sinking Sand, okay, so that's it. That's the whole song. I always start that way so that you can know where you're getting your improv from. It comes from simple chords, but I want you to see what he does because it illustrates my point beautifully in terms of modernizing your sound by simply doing sus2 voicings or major 7 voicings. This will be an example of a sus2. See, so normally all other ground is normally just a regular old 4 chord, but he's going all. So what he's doing is he changed this G flat triad and he took the B flat and changed it to an A flat, and then he has some B flat, E flat, G flat going on in the left hand. But the thing is, I explained this chord in a YouTube video called sus2 chords and sus4 chords, how to modernize your sound. Check that out right after this because we teach it really simply there. But this is an example of that where you could just take a simple triad and change that triad and make it sound better just by changing the middle note and making the 3rd note. But you can also use major 7 chords too because that's the next step after learning your triads. So check this out. This is in his intro. That phrase there that he did, that's really just a D flat chord and a G flat chord. But what's happening is instead of changing the middle note this time, we're adding a note. We're adding the 7th note. We're taking it to the bottom. We're removing the 3rd. And that whole thing right here that you see on the screen is happening with the left hand. And then the right hand just goes. So it sounds like this. And it sounds really good, right? And so this particular voicing, I've talked about major 7th chords as well in my channel, but this particular voicing actually, I discuss this more on my website. So those of you who are subscribed to the website, log in, click the roadmap, then click intermediate, scroll down until you see 7th, no 3 dropped. And there you'll see this exact chord. I actually spell this exact chord out that he played. I spell it out for you, this exact chord. And I'm also going to share with you how to use this chord, what it is, how to use it, and so that you guys can check that out. But remember, beauty can be found in its simplicity. And so this first method just simply requires you knowing how to change a major chord by changing the 3rd note to the 2nd note, or by knowing how to add a 7th note and maybe placing it in other ways. And that's it. So the second thing you can do is keep the bass consistent throughout the melody. I like to use this method with hymns often, and it's an easy thing you can do. So for instance, on Christ the solid rock I stand. You just keep the bass as a D flat, you don't change it. Other ground is sinking sand. See, I've got this at a D flat still. All other ground is, maybe here I could move to the 5, sinking sand. You would need chords though to play also to make it sound just a little bit better and a little more full, right? So what I want to do is I want to take those basic chords that you see on the screen, and I want to play either versions of those chords in my left hand, or I want to move to them in some way. So for instance, see, I'm keeping that bass consistent. Now I'm gonna move this, I'm gonna reharmonize this. Okay, all other ground. So what happened there is I kept the bass consistent because the next chord, Rock I Stand, is a G flat chord. So my left hand is thinking, okay, what do we do to approach a G flat chord? Well, we use a D flat dominant. So this is where this voicing came from. In my left hand, I played an F, B, and D flat, since the D flat on the bottom was being held by the sustain pedal. So, and I did a sus voicing to it by moving this up and half step. So, and now I'm at the G flat chord. But notice my bass is still a D flat. Back to a D flat chord again. See, I'm keeping that bass the same. That little move I'm doing here, I've been using that move all over the place on YouTube now for like a couple weeks, so y'all should be tired of it by now, but it works. And I realize I'm speeding up here. This video I'm trying to increase in complexity as I go along. So the first one was a little bit more for beginners. This one is if you've been playing just for a little minute. Okay, so I have a Christ the solid, back to the D flat. All other ground is sinking sand. I'm approaching the E flat chord with the G at the bottom. Sand. And I change this chord here, and I change the G to go a half step down to an F sharp, and then the B flat to go to an A. So, sinking sand. And then what I did here is I had a little run to kind of connect the two chords. And what's happening there with the run is I'm just using an E flat chord to a F sharp melodic minor. So I just basically combine those two. And then all other ground is sinking sand. Now this is me personally, guys, so this is just me telling you how I would approach some reharm on this particular song. So really keeping the bass the same. The only time I change is on the word sand, where I totally reharmonized it. Now I could have kept that at the D flat. I could have kept it as a D flat. All other ground is sinking sand. See, it's the D flat still works. So the D flat still works. So I'm still having that D flat in my head as the bass note, but I can still. All on the ground is sinking sand. Back to the D flat. Now, it's about choices, folks, though. It's about choices, because at the end of the day, you have to sacrifice which notes you may want to play for your overall sound. What do I mean by that? So in this third way, I'm going to go ahead and play the song regular now, in changing the bass. So similar to what he did on the video.